You have so many things coming up.
Yes, a lot coming up.
I feel the first and most exciting, because it's happening so soon, is the event at the Apollo Theater.
Yes, November 7th. Finally, someone is doing something. It's 10 years. My mom was on the board forever of God's Love We Deliver, and they are doing a big celebration. It's going to be at the Apollo Theater, and it's called, I'm blanking on the, what's it called? Still Dead? Dead Funny. Sorry. You got to understand, I flew in last night, got in at midnight, and started at 6:30 this morning. So I'm a little like...
I mean, I feel that's the Rivers way. You guys are work. You guys work.
So it's called Dead Funny.
I love it.
A living tribute.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
The lineup is, which will be announced in the next few weeks, is almost, well, I would say the top 3 female comedians performing right now.
Wow.
I mean, it's amazing who's coming out to, and hopefully someone will want to broadcast it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And people are going to be fighting for this.
People will
One
be
would
like
think.
lining up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years. Has it gone by fast? It's such a milestone moment. How are you feeling? 10
I
years
can't believe it's 10 years.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You always still feel like, you know, I feel like it's been 5 years, 6 years. Somehow COVID those lost years, I think, have thrown it all off. But it's crazy that it's 10 years.
Yeah. I feel like Danny and I were just talking about this. Joan Rivers was kind of one of those deaths you like remember where you were when you
I do.
heard. Well, of course. I mean, when you reflect back on that.
Thank you. Everyone's like, "Do you remember where you were?"
No,
I mean, like, I remember where I was. I'm like, so do I.
You're like, she died?
She felt like a mother to
missed
so
the
many.
Google alert.
So
Yeah, there was a moment where I did that the other day. What? She's dead?
when you reflect back on the 10 years, like, how would you describe the evolution of your grieving process? Do you feel like, I mean, we've both lost parents, so
Right.
it's kind of something that lives with you every day.
And I learned this very young from when my dad died, when I was almost 18, is, first of all, everybody grieves in their own way, and it's definitely a process. And it becomes bittersweet. And people are like, was it different for you? No. Why would it be different for me? It was different in the fact that, you know, we couldn't go anywhere. Cooper and I were kind of trapped in this bubble. And the other way it's different for me is people then come up to you and say, oh my God, there's a very public element to it. But emotionally, it's the same as anyone else. It really, you know, people always think, oh, it must be different. It's not.
Yeah,
the pain is the same.
Yeah, a loss is a loss. And I feel like the public element of it has its ups and downs for you, because I feel people, whenever they like find out that you like lost a parent or something like that, they're like expecting to be like, oh my God, and waterworks. You almost are like, do I have to perform my grief for you right now so you have this moment?
Well, what was hard for me was feeling like I had to comfort other people, especially in the beginning, where I would be going somewhere and someone would see me and just get so upset. And that became, in the first 2 years, that became very difficult.
Yeah.
That became very difficult. I just had, about a year ago, I was at the movies, and this man sees me, this large older man sees me, and just falls apart. And I'm like, and it was one of the first dates. It was 2 nights with Steve, who's now my fiance, and we're going to see a movie, and a complete stranger, and is just like, I mean, I'm just like, oh my God. And he had worked at E, and not in any of the departments that I knew. Yeah. And Steve's like, does this always happen? I'm like,
You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, he's like, people start to cry. I'm like, sometimes.
You're like, yeah, I can make a man cry, so you better be on your best behavior.
Exactly. But that was a little startling on like the first time we went to the movies together.
So you have this big event coming up. It's going to be so exciting. But you also have a play coming
Yes.
out about, it's
Yes.
called Joan.
It's
Tell us
called
about
Joan.
that.
It is premiering at the South Coast Rep, which is a very, within the theater world, very fancy place to start. Very, you know, theater.
Yes.
And
Dramaturg.
exactly. And it opens October 27th, and it's there for a month. And then we have a couple other, we have a master plan.
Okay.
But, and that will, you know, everything's going to roll out in the correct time. I will honestly say I'm avoiding New York like the plague.
Why? Are you not a New York fan?
Who wants to try and open something in New York on a controversial topic that was controversial her whole life to have the New York critics come out.
Also, the New York critics like to be catty just to be catty.
Exactly.
So they can just want to be like, they want to sit with their popcorn and be like, oh, I just want to hate this.
Yes.
Versus like when it gets the acclaim coming to it.
Exactly. So.
But I do feel like critics have a soft spot for Joan, the ultimate critic.
They do, but people just. I'm saying this at the New York Post, which is so ironic. People really just write things to get you to click on and read. So,
welcome.
Exactly. It like feels a little awkward saying that here since that's your business model. But
But no, that's exactly
so I think eventually we will end up in New York.